Jacob Sonenshine here with the NYSide. I'm here with Michael Meyers, President and Executive Director of the New York Civil Rights Coalition, also a columnist for the New York Daily News and the New York Post, got his law degree at Rutgers University. Let's get it straight from you. What exactly is the mission?
Reconstruct the civil rights movement so that it falls back into its mission, its core mission, which is to promote racial harmony and equal opportunity and equal protection of the law for everyone. That means we resist, refute, rebut racial separatism.
One of the things that the New York Civil Rights Coalition does is produce reports. Several of the reports were fact gatherings at radio stations. There are not so many non-white personalities, and the reports mentioned that was, quoting, racial exclusivity. A report like that, a report such as that, what do you believe that accomplishes? And by the way, who do those reports reach?
If we see a problem in terms of exclusion of a group of people based on their race, particularly in a multicultural city like New York, how can that be when you raise the issue with the decision makers?
Do you fear that the aggressiveness conflicts with the idea of unity?
Unity, no. The unity of purpose. This is a unity of purpose. This is a unity as we have the United States of America. We cannot have a society where everything is divided along racial lines. Just can't have that. And so we don't have any apologies for arguing on behalf of integration.
You hit the barrier for the aggressive party. We don't care. What do? What happens? I mean, don't you need a body that has legal authority to do something? And this is a coalition. It's not a court. I mean, what do you do when you hit that barrier?
Well, we already have civil rights laws.
Mm-hmm.
But civil rights laws do not keep people from saying what they want to say.
Right.
Civil rights laws don't stop people from marching in front of a business in Harlem saying we don't want any white people in our neighborhood. Civil rights laws don't stop people from saying they are opposed to gentrification of neighborhoods. If people's quote-unquote offensive language incites in the way you say, then we don't have any free speech.
Let me just talk about divisiveness for a second. If we believe in the First Amendment, we believe in less government, not the government's function to regulate speech. It's not American, it's not constitutional. What is to be done about the divisiveness in the country?
Let me give you another example where
Yeah.
government allowed for the Nazi Party to meet in a public school. In the theory that, well, if you open a public school to groups, you can't bar the group from a public school such as the Nazi Party. Do you know anybody who ever went to a Nazi Party meeting?
I don't know.
You just met one. I went to a Nazi Party meeting because it was a public school.
Surely not to hate Jewish people.
Not to hate Jewish people, what?
No, surely you didn't go to that meeting to
I went
hate
because
Jewish
I wanted to hear what they had to say.
Is the American way in that regard so fantastic? And what's the...
Yes, it is.
Why?
Because I believe in the critical thinking skills, and I believe in the accumulation of knowledge for knowledge's sake, the pursuit of truth. In America, we believe that we have the right to pursue truth and to ask questions and to rebut and to answer, and that no topic is off limits.
But what about when it gets to the point where there are African American civilians all the time these days being shot and killed by cops? What about when it gets to that point? I mean, does it bother you?
Does it bother me that anybody is killed by a police officer?
Wrongfully.
Wrongfully is the point. It bothers you when the officer of the law violates the law, or takes law into his own hands, or picks on you because he doesn't like the way you look, or picks on you because you represent a community which is endangering the rest of the community. That's what you call racial profiling. That's unlawful. Nobody wants their child harassed by a police officer simply because he's young and he's black. Absolutely not. You don't want that.
Would you say it's
Under the law, a police officer, in order to interfere with you, to stop you, to question you, much less to frisk you, a police officer, now you or anybody else, he or she has to have reasonable suspicion that you have committed a crime, or reasonable suspicion that you are about to commit a crime.
All right, Eric Gardner.
Eric Gardner, okay. The chokehold.
Yeah.
The question is, why was it necessary? You had at least 4 or 5 police officers there.
But not all cops are being, in my mind, properly punished. And
No, I didn't finish.
Go ahead.
At least 4 or 5 cops there. And what was Eric Gardner's offense? Selling Lucy's cigarettes on the street corner. Eric Gardner is known as one of those pests in the community. He didn't present a real danger to anybody, and they took him down. And one of the cops, it is alleged, engaged in a chokehold, put him in a chokehold. The man was screaming to them, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." Why didn't they stop? You had enough cops there. He wasn't going anyplace. This guy is a big guy, he can't run away. So why did they not let him out?
Yeah.
So that's my question. I think that was abusive treatment
Right.
on the part of the police officer. And you had a supervising cop there who didn't do anything. She didn't do anything. She didn't say, "He can't breathe, stop." And then you had the EMS come, and they see the guy on this, and they didn't apply CPR. What kind of nonsense is this? This is wrong.
So what does your coalition?
And he still has, the police officers are still haven't been disciplined.
And what can your coalition do about those kinds of scenarios?
What could any civil rights community do?
Do you think that all cops should have videos?
Body cameras. Yes. You have to believe either the cops are going to be doing the right thing and follow the law, or they will have the body cameras.
And if they're not, there will be consequences.
And they will have independent evidence that what they did, that the stop was good.
I see.
Good stop.
I see what you're saying.
And that it's not just his word against your word, or your word against his word. You got body camera evidence.
Yeah.
We could solve police brutality or misconduct overnight if police officers would testify against other police officers. We could solve the problems of police abuse of authority overnight if the good cops, as you call them, as we call them, the good cops would really be good cops and say to their partners, "No, you can't do that." If the good cops had been in Staten Island and stayed the hand of the guy who gave the chokehold to Eric Gardner, we would be a lot better today than we are now in terms of polarization between police and community.
It seems that some police officers are not signed up for the job to be protective, but rather opportunistic. They have received good pension plans. They operate the way they want to. Do you see that to be an issue?
I know so many cops who got on the job for the right reasons. And cops, we have to remember, in the course of their work, they too have families to go home to. When I served on Mayor Giuliani's task force on police community relations, one of the lessons I learned from the cops was that, "Michael, we got families at home. We want to go home." And I tell the suspects, put their fingers up, not just hands up, fingers up. I want those fingers waving and moving and twiggling because I want to go home. So those are cops who are taking their job seriously, taking their family seriously. And yes, a lot of cops are afraid for their lives. But who wouldn't be in such a dangerous profession? But they do have guns to protect themselves. Get rid of the bad apples. Just get out, get them out the classroom, and get them off the police force. And if we can do that, we have a better day for everybody.
Jacob Sonnenschein, Michael Meyers, the President and Executive Director of the New York Civil Rights Coalition. Thanks a lot, I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.